Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Play Virtue's Last Reward. Last time we got a really interesting episode where we found out that Dameol for some reason is carrying a photo of Akane around with him, which is really weird. Up until now, I kind of thought that Dameol was obviously Quark's grandfather and that the old woman we find in some of the playthroughs is his mistress. But other than that, we really have no connection to him. But now we also know that apparently Akane is very close to him, which makes me wonder if... So here's my random spitballing. I still feel like the old woman that we find is not Quark's grandmother, because Quark has no reaction to her. So it's very possible that Dameol has like a side thing going on, and Akane may be that woman's granddaughter. It does feel like he's connected with the first game, because we know that Clover and Alice are connected with the first game. Hi, kitty. Well, I'm actually not sure, because Alice did make the all ice reference, but I'm not 100% sure she's supposed to be the same person. I kind of feel like, I mean, she definitely is dressed the same as the woman we saw at the end of 999, so I feel like Alice, Clover, and now Dameol are all directly associated with the people that were in the first game. I don't think that we have any reason to think that Phi or Sigma or Dio are. And we know that Dio kind of like murdered his way in, so he definitely shouldn't be associated with it. The ones I'm not super sure about are, like, Luna doesn't feel like she has any real connection. And then we know less than nothing about Kay. Like, Kay doesn't even remember anything about himself, so not much to go on there. But hey, let's find out why Dameol is... No!
Damn it!
What's wrong?
I left something in the director's office.
We can probably go back.
What was it?
The picture. Ugh, how could I forget it?
I'm just sit down if using the face recognition thing.
Yeah, I'm going back. You two go on ahead to the warehouse.
I mean, we can go with you.
I want to come with you.
Exactly. Good job, Quark. Yeah, me too.
Nah, that's fine. Why don't you head back to the warehouse, Sigma? The others are probably already waiting.
All right. I'll see you two later then. Don't do anything weird with Akane's picture.
Right.
Bye, Mr. Sigma.
I am a little worried that because they're forcibly separating us, that somehow or other, Dameol is going to end up dead. I don't know why, but this is about in the game where people started dying. And then they were gone. Guess I should be getting back, though. Alright, let's head back to the warehouse and see what we can see. Warehouse A. That was a weird flicker. It's almost like my vision was rebooting. I stepped in the warehouse to find all the other teams already there. Kay and Luna. Phi and Clover. Why are we still talking about the teams in two-person groups? Dio. When Dio spotted me, he dashed over to the rightmost AV room and slid his card through the reader. Especially they were making Dio wait until we got here.
An ambidex gate has been opened.
For a split second, I was like, well, what happened to the last person? But then, yeah, Alice is kind of dead.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
He turned to look at me. I swear I saw a flash of a smug grin.
There. Happy? This time I waited for you to get back before I opened it.
You didn't wait for everyone, though.
You see? I can be considerate.
But Dameol and Quark aren't here.
Yeah, where are they?
I guess I forgot something back in the room we found. Ran back to grab it real quick.
And they'll be here in a few minutes. No big deal.
I mean, I actually, as much as I don't like Dio, I have to agree with him on this point, because there is no reason for us to sit around and let time elapse for no reason. Unless there's something we need to talk about. Although I would be curious to hear them describe the rooms they were in, because I think this is the first time we've actually gotten to this point where there are several survivors of going through the white doors. Like, normally everyone's, like, killing each other at this point. Only way to exchange information about the rooms we investigated. Unfortunately, none of that seems super useful. Unless we had found anything, and we were no closer to unraveling an increasing number of mysteries we were faced with. With that discussion exhausted, we sat down to wait. For a long 20 minutes had passed since Dio opened the door. Dameol and Quark were nowhere in sight.
Don't you think they're taking a little long?
Yeah, that's why I was worried about them going back.
Yes, I'm getting worried. What if something happened to them?
I'll go have a look.
Then I shall accompany you.
I'll be fine. It's not that far
Just
away.
don't look into the abyss too long, or you might become a monster.
That's really weird for her to say out of nowhere. I'm just going to director's office. I'll be right back. Right. See you guys later. I freaking knew it when they were forcibly separating and wouldn't let me go with them. I had a feeling. Okay. I mean, it makes sense you can go backwards through the arrows, but I thought those might be one-way doors. But it looks like I was incorrect. The director's office. The office where things are directed. That's odd. There's nobody here. The picture is gone, though. Dameol and Quark obviously came here. Now the floor beat map. Must have taken the door that faces the warehouse. I probably went through the warehouse and out the blue door towards the elevator. I mean, I came through the red door, which is kind of the long way around. Well, this is a huge waste of time. Shoot, I'll head back, I suppose. Grab the map and head to the door when there's a light on where there hadn't been a light before. Why is that thing on? We messed with it earlier, but nothing seemed to work. The light. Is it the abyss? I swallowed and edged cautiously towards it. The machine was in arm's reach now. Should I hand over it slowly? Slowly?
So,
Snake?
You finally made it.
That looks a lot like the idea of Snake, or like the way Snake is presented, but I don't think it's supposed to be Snake. Is it Snake's dad?
I am Zero. I was the one who brought you here.
That actually makes sense if it is, but it wasn't. Wait, no, it wasn't Snake last time. It was Akane and the other white-haired kid.
You undoubtedly have as many questions for me as there are stars in the sky. As you can see, however, this is only a recording.
I mean, technically I'm hearing, not seeing.
I will therefore be unable to directly answer any questions. Ask if you wish, but I cannot respond.
I was taking a swing at him, but decided that was spectacularly futile and got my bald fist to my side.
Now, where to begin?
So they obviously watched this recording and then left, so we probably did miss each other.
There are many things I wish to tell you, but unfortunately, our time is limited.
How is it limited? It's a recording. You can make it as long as you want.
As such, the information I can provide is also limited. I have chosen two things of great importance to tell you.
Well, number one, why did this not work before when we were here?
First, I will tell you about termites. In retrospect, I suppose that's a rather odd thing to say. I imagine you look rather bewildered right now. Perfectly understandable.
I love how he says I don't have much time, and then he's just going to, like, faff about with, you know, side conversations.
The person who kidnapped you and threatened you with death is lecturing you about insects. I suspect it hardly seems fair. Nonetheless, this is very important. In a way, it will determine your fate. So I ask that you listen carefully. Have you ever seen a termite mound?
I actually don't think I have.
They are splendid structures. Some might even call them works of art.
I've never heard anyone say that.
Termites are natural architects, and their mounds are both structurally sound and make excellent use of space. So, are they following some sort of plan as they build? Are there termite blueprints detailing which room goes where?
No, it's instinctual.
No, of course not. Each termite is simply an oblivious cog in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of termite DNA.
Interesting, okay.
It is doubtful an individual termite has any idea what its contributions are helping to create. But a human does. We can appreciate the elegant forms of their alien cathedrals.
Alright, I'm with you so far. It kind of reminds me a little bit of... There's a thing that's a little bit like this in Ender's Game. Ender's Game, don't look too much into the author, but the book is actually really interesting. If a little, like, predictable.
We can see the simple beauty of their perfect functionality. We can understand the splendid planning of their structure.
I thought you just said you didn't have much time.
In other words, only an intelligence of a higher order can understand the beauty of what the termite builds.
What a great way of complimenting termites and side complimenting your own intelligence.
Now, consider humans. Why are we alive?
Because our mom and our dad just kept boinking.
Why do we love and give birth? Why do we create? From where do our cultures spring? There are many theories, but no one knows the truth. We are oblivious cogs in a tremendous machine programmed by millions of years of human DNA.
I can see where you're coming from, but you're not accounting for the fact that humans have free will and termites don't. Humans are more than just instinctual responses.
No doubt you see now what this analogy is supposed to illustrate. Yes, I mean to say humans are not different from termites.
Disagree.
We trudge through our lives with no greater understanding of our ultimate goal.
Okay, that part I agree with. The average person lives average lives, framed by averagility?
You might say we don't understand what we're building. Only an intelligence of a higher order than ours can understand what we're doing. Imagine how we might look to such an intelligence. We may be building some structure so perfect and elegant, we can't even perceive it.
Okay, so what does this have to do with abducting all of us?
Whatever it is, we've likely been building it on a dimension just above the ones we know since time.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. So actually what this is at least with Phi and me, or Phi and Sigma, not me obviously. I'm not in the game. He is specifically looking at people who are able to perceive the alternate passages of time in order to look at the structure of creation in its various molds, so that we can, in theory, better perceive what we're actually creating in its contrast against the things that we interesting. So basically, if I'm thinking about this correctly, all of the timelines except for the true ending are going to be timelines that deviate from our nature. deviate from the unseen plan. And each time we deviate from it, tragedy befalls. Which is to say that humankind is like a termite in that we build these wonderful structures, but free will continuously gets in the way. And it's only in the timeline where we don't deviate from what is designed that we actually are able to press forward correctly. Where the plan, holds firm.
If we are like the termites, then what we've created is almost certainly something of tremendous beauty. And you are about to catch a glimpse of it. Or have you already? Well, that's enough on that subject, I think. Consider what I've said.
Okay, what's the second subject?
Now, let's move on to the second topic. It is somewhat more immediately meaningful to your life, and, in fact, the lives of several billion other people.
This has to do with Radical 6.
I realize this is rather sudden, but I have a password for you. It is the password to disarm the bomb, numbered 1.
Okay.
Are you ready? I will only say this once, so pay close attention. The password to disarm the number 1 bomb is BQZ RGJ DXR.
I'm going to note this down. I doubt I'll need to remember it, but BQZ RGJ DXR. I had no idea what he was talking about. What bomb? Was he saying there were bombs too? If he'd guessed at my future confusion, he showed no sign of it.
That is the last of the information this message was meant to convey. Before I go, however, I have a warning. You cannot tell any of your companions what you heard or saw here.
Interesting. Well, 2 of them already know about it.
If you do, you will be penalized immediately.
Well, that's a jerky thing to say.
I hope we will meet again someday.
We haven't met yet, as far as I know.
We would have much to discuss.
God, you just all the crap and disappear. As I'm feeling an empty air. Hologram had disappeared. What kind of an idiot does he take me for? Termites? Other dimensions? Interesting, he didn't say anything about other dimensions, did he? I kicked at the nearby shelf.
10 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Oh crap, I need to go back. There's any point in staying here.
Grandpa! Look! Mr. Sigma's back!
Took you long enough.
Where are the others?
In the AB rooms.
They're in already?
Yep.
Are you waiting for me?
Yeah! Grandpa said there was something he had to tell you before we voted, no matter what.
Nothing that significant. Just wanted to tell you we're going to choose ally this round. That's it.
Alright. You had to tell me that no matter what? Seems kind of pointless. In words, you can promise whatever you want.
True, but we've got something to back it up. Just hear me out. Quark and I both have 8 BP.
Yep.
We're already on the home stretch. So what do we need to get to the magic number? Well, we need you to choose ally.
Okay.
If you do that, it doesn't really matter to us what we pick.
You get now to get 2 or 3 points.
Exactly. That being the case, we don't have any reason to betray you. And if we both choose ally, we both gain points.
True. You must have considered But I could choose betray. I mean, you choose betray to protect yourself.
But that's why we're telling you we won't choose betray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but can I trust you?
Of course.
Tell me one thing. Let's say we both ally everyone gets 2 points. That means you and Quark have to leave, which is great for you. I'll be stuck with 5. I know you're not going to just open the door, number 9 door, and leave us in the lurch.
I can guarantee it. I can give you my word. I will not open the number 9 door, even if I have enough points to do so.
I'm actually honestly not sure I believe him. Because the most important thing he needs is to get Quark out of the situation.
I swear it. We aren't going to abandon everybody else just so we can escape.
I swear too. I promise.
So he got a promise, huh?
When I make a promise, I keep it.
Yeah, says the guy with the mistress.
Trust me.
Please! You've got to trust us!
I'm going to ally, and I'm going to regret it, I think. Alright, fine. I'll trust you.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
We're counting on you, Sigma.
You gotta choose ally!
Wow, they are really hard on this.
You promised!
With that, they turn around the AB rooms, second from the right. Well, I guess I should get moving. So this is the first time I've been a solo.
One minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
So I'm always going to have to deliberate a bit because I always have to vote like 2 seconds from the end. I have a decision to make. Should I trust them? I could believe they're telling the truth and still betray them. That would bring my VP to 6. I'd be that much closer to 9. If you betray would guarantee they wouldn't try to escape with the rest of us. Betrayal seems like a safe bet.
Please! You've gotta trust us! You've gotta choose ally! You promised!
The energy. Seems like a pretty easily enough, but Quark? What the hell is it gonna do?
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
As always, I'm gonna ally before I betray. But this is the one that I'm the closest to betrayal.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I even moused down for a second.
Round 3 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
So here they betrayed me. I'm almost positive they betrayed me.
Results from round 3 of the Ambidex
Or actually,
game
they could have
will
allied,
now
but
be
you know, like
displayed.
they are right. As long as I ally, it doesn't matter what they do.
Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Okay. I had a feeling. So Clover also can get out of here, in theory.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What the hell, guys? Why'd you betray
Quark
me?
had nothing to do with this. I made the vote.
Grandpa.
I had a feeling that's what he was going to do. But why did you break your promise?
I only promised you one thing. We wouldn't open the number 9 door, even if we got 9 points.
That's actually not what you said. You said very clearly you were going to ally. So you're not going
Not what I said. Of course we're going to leave. Look, see Clover over there?
Don't tell me. All right, very, very. But I had a feeling, and that's why I'm definitely going back and betraying. Because even as I did that, I'm like, this is the wrong call. But I've been very obstinate so far.
Oh no.
Jeez.
That bitch!
Because yeah, Luna is, or not, Alice is dead, so there's no reason for her to stick around.
Wait. Quark and Tenmyoji have...
My mouth went to me as Quark ran past.
No! God damn it!
Clover, are you really going to leave? Well, yeah.
So say because Alice is dead.
Why else would I open the door?
But why?
I'm going to go call the others. So we can capture Zero Senior.
Tenmyoji, are you and Quark going too?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I don't understand. I guess the betrayal was just to make sure he would stay at 8 points no matter what.
Sorry, everybody.
So Sigma, happy? I kept my promise.
No, you said you're going to ally. That's still a just because you didn't say I promise.
Clover opened the door, not me.
Some shady shit to me, OG.
You say so. I have to get out of here, and that's that.
I freaking knew it. Based on everything I knew about his character, I knew that he would end up betraying me here.
He's got to pay for what he's done.
He?
Zero.
You mean you know who Zero Senior is?
Yeah. No point keeping it a secret now, I suppose. I know exactly who Zero Senior is.
What?
Interesting. Especially with his prior connection
The
to
number
Akane.
9 door has been opened. It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Let's go. Come on, guys.
They just go as a pack of 3.
Time to move.
Right.
Oh, wait! This is for you, Mr. Sigma.
I look down and see 2 pieces of pull of paper.
It's I wrote it in the director's office before the AB game. I wanted to tell you what kind of guy Grandpa is.
Okay, interesting and unexpected.
So, read it, okay?
He pressed it in my hand.
See you later, Mr. Sigma.
And he turned and ran towards the door, Dameol and Clover following his footsteps. I can think of anything to say.
See you.
Goodbye.
Aren't you gonna tell me who Zero Senior is?
The number 9 door has closed. This ends the nonary game. Thank you for your participation. As the game is over, all doors other than the number 9 door have been unlocked.
Have we heard this before? It sounds familiar.
Escape is not possible. Please enjoy your stay.
Shit!
Well, if you aren't such an asshole the whole time, Dio.
They're gone.
All we can do now is hope they bring help back.
Indeed.
I agree.
I looked down at Quark's letter and slowly unfolded it. His handwriting was still slightly uneven, but he filled both pages with writing, and I began to read. It was a really stormy day when he found me. He said the rain was coming down so hard it almost hurt, but somehow... Oh wow, I'm already choking up. he managed to hear a baby crying. I guess I must have been crying pretty loud. He took me home. He did his best to raise me, but I think he'd never been married or had a kid before, so I think it was really hard on him. He couldn't figure out how to mix the formula, so I was carrying the directions around with him. Also, I guess I was a pretty picky eater, so if I didn't get the water to formula ratio just right, I wouldn't eat. Guess I was kind of a pain, huh? But he didn't give up, and now here I am. When he found me, I was really, really small. He was worried I might not make it. That's why he named me Quark. A quark is a really, really small thing, and I was really small too. Grandpa didn't need to worry though, because it turned out that I was pretty tough. When I was 1, he forgot I was sleeping on the bed of his trunk, so he drove off. I rolled out and went off the back, but I didn't even get scratched. Started walking when I was 2, and when I wasn't looking, I fell down the stairs. I didn't get hurt then either. When I was 3, I got really sick. A super high fever for a week, but eventually I got better. Interesting, just like Akane got a super high fever as we got closer and closer to her incineration. I guess you could say I'm pretty lucky. Not ultimate lucky student levels, but still lucky. Anyway, I really didn't have any more accidents after that, and I was a pretty healthy kid. By the time I was 6, I was helping Grandpa out with his work. His job was to gather junk from abandoned buildings. Then, he'd fix it up, or he'd pull out the useful parts and sell them. There were plenty of abandoned buildings, but finding good stuff in them was hard. You had to know which parts were useful, or you'd pick up wasting a bunch of time. Every time I'd find something, he'd explain to me what it was, how it was supposed to work, how to fix it, and all sorts of things. Usually, though, I just wanted to finish up work so I could go to the theater. The theater came to our town once a week in a wagon. They'd show old news or movies. I went every single week, but Grandpa only went once in a while. I only go the weeks where they showed movies. He didn't want to know about the news. Oh, I didn't know I'd been adopted until I was 7. One of the other kids on my block told me. After Grandpa found me, he looked all over town trying to find someone who'd take me. A kid from my block actually had a mom, and he had asked her if she would take me too. Gotta admit, I was pretty shocked when I heard that. There weren't a lot of kids with parents around, so hearing that someone lived with his actual mom, well, that was pretty impressive. I was kind of surprised that Grandpa tried to get someone else to take me. Did that mean he didn't want me? I thought that's actually where he might go with that information. He told me about Grandpa trying to get rid of me was a real jerk. He was totally spoiled, and he'd brag to everyone about how he had a mom. He'd like to come up to me while I was working and say stuff like, "It must be hard not having a mother." It never bothered me before. I found out that Grandpa had adopted me. I started to think that maybe he really didn't want me. I could work on my own, and he could get rid of me. I was scared to know the truth, so I never actually asked him. Then one day, he took me to a bar in our neighborhood. Wow! During the day, of course. He went in there to sometimes drink scotch, but he'd never gone before. I'd never gone before. When we got in, he just walked up to the counter with that grumpy look he has, and I thought, oh no, he's gonna make me work here. But I was wrong. I saw him pass something to the bartender, and then he picked me up and set me down on a stool next to the counter. The stool was pretty high, especially for a 7-year-old kid. My legs dangled in front of it. It was really, really high, and I was pretty nervous. The bartender came back with a glass of scotch and another big glass full of something else. The closer I realized it was a second glass full of some sort of brown liquid with a scoop of ice cream in it. 20 minutes I realized what it was. A root beer float. I love root beer floats. I'd never seen one. I was so surprised. Root beer was even more expensive than the nice alcohol in the bar. To me and the other kids, it seemed more like an urban legend than a real drink. But there it was, right in front of me. I stared at the float. I wasn't sure it was real at that point. I turned to look at Grandpa. He looked back at me. I didn't know what to do, so I turned to the bartender. Harry turned around and moved off, though, so I figured he must have put the glass down in front of me on purpose. It still didn't seem like it could be real, and I was just staring when Grandpa told me to hurry up and drink it before the ice cream melted. His gruff voice sounded like an angel's. Is this really mine? I asked. He nodded. Words can't describe how awesome that was. This is really touching. Does that mean that they had planned to trick me into letting them out the whole time? I never tasted anything like root beer before. Creamy sweetness of the ice cream made the entire head feel light. I felt like the luckiest boy in the whole world. It's not an exaggeration, I actually thought that. The root beer float was delicious. When I happy was Grandpa. When I was over with him, he was smiling. I know that's gotta be hard for you to imagine, but he really was. Right then, I didn't care whether I just found me or adopted me or what. He bought me a root beer float. That made me way luckier than some kid who had a mother, but had never tasted root beer. As I left the bar, he was the first kid I bragged to. So Grandpa and I were doing pretty good. Until the fight. I was in a super bad mood that day. I wore my shoes that morning, some old drunk guy had yelled at me. The junk I'd found was totally useless. It was almost over and I was fed up. I grabbed some random trash and took it back to the house. When I showed what I found to Grandpa, he frowned. I started going through each thing I brought back, explaining why they were all useless. I got really mad and I just yelled, "I don't care!" And he got mad. I couldn't take it anymore, so I ran off. Pretty upset. I started thinking that maybe Grandpa only adopted me so he could raise me to work and make money for him. Well, I went and hid in an abandoned building. By then I started to calm down. I think that maybe I should go back to apologize. So what's interesting is this sounds like a world after it's been hit by Sigma, or Radical 6. But again, that begs the question of how long have we been in cryostasis? Like, how much time passed after we were abducted? We know some time passed, but it's apparently been a long time if the world's been obliterated and, like, there's people who are just salvagers going around. It started raining pretty hard, though, so I decided to wait for it to stop. That's just an excuse. Truth was, I was nervous. I mean, I knew I'd done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. The rain didn't stop, though. It just sat there staring at the gloomy gray sky. I imagined Grandpa coming to get me. It kept raining all night, but he never showed up. I gave up waiting and decided it was time to go home. I was halfway there when I heard someone groaning. I was just ignoring it like involved, but I went over, and it was Grandpa. He was totally soaked. I could tell right away that he'd been there for a really long time. I yelled, and he opened his eyes a little bit. He smiled weakly and said he was glad I was safe. He spent all night in the drain looking for me. I felt awful. Grandpa had been out in the rain looking at me so long he collapsed. I was horrible. He heard me crying in the rain, but I hadn't heard him. I needed the doctor. I promised whatever God might be listening, if they only saved Grandpa, I never asked for another root beer float ever again. He had a real bad fever. His temperature wouldn't go down for days. I understood if that kept up, he'd die. And if he died, I'd be all alone. There wouldn't be anyone left to care about me. But that happened terrified me. Man, this background music is very auspicious and swelling. Fortunately, let's pass some of my luck to Grandpa, because a week later his fever finally broke. I was glad he wasn't going to die, but I was also a little scared. He decided he didn't want a stupid kid like me around anymore. I wanted to apologize since he woke up, but when the moment came, my brain just stopped. Grandpa started to talk. It took me a minute to realize he was apologizing. I didn't know what to think. He explained that he was an old man, and that meant he was probably going to die sooner rather than later. He was strict with me because he wanted to make sure I'd be able to make it on my own after he was gone. But maybe he'd been a little too strict. All the things I'd worried about had been stupid and selfish. Grandpa cared about me a whole lot. He'd been... Wow, this is a lot for 2 pages. He'd been worried when I ran off, and he got out into the rain to look for me. When I apologized when I opened my mouth, I just started crying. I don't think I've ever cried that much since I was a baby. He just smiled and he patted my head. I asked him if he ever regretted adopting me. His eyes got all wide and he said, "Well, of course not." He told me that he was looking for a really important lady, so that he had to give him pretty much everything else. So he's looking for Akane for some reason that we don't know. That's the golden question, is why is he looking for Akane? But when he took me in and he started to raise me, he felt like he was getting some of what he lost back. That was when I decided I'm going to stay with him forever, even if he said I couldn't. Well, that's really heartwarming, even though we kind of end up, you know, trapped in a place forever and no one comes to get us, most likely. This feels like the credits swell. Yep. Okay, so this is the first time I think we've gotten to an actual ending of the game, not one of the bad ends. And obviously, the game is not over. Don't be fooled. Of course, we're going to come back and play the other ones. But I do actually, I really, really, really do like... Oh. I wonder if the voice actor clues us in on anything on Zero Senior. But no, that was a really heartwarming ending, and it plays out exactly how I thought it would. The characters are very, very, you know, true to their natures. But I'm not going to sit here and analyze the game. I got to beat it first. So, although I'm glad we got to an end of this, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'll be back if there's anything cool at the end of the credits. But like I said, I'm pretty sure next time we just start off at that choice where I can either betray or ally with Quark and Dameol, because even as I said at the time, I was very sure they were going to betray me, so my choice should have been betray. But I'm a good guy. I don't betray anyone except for at the very beginning of the game when Fi tricked me. Fi led me astray. She's a wicked woman. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.